All right, so on the other end of the spectrum are my customers who say, I always let my plants dry out and they die. Well, if you're a person who sometimes forgets to stay on top of the watering, or if you want a plant that you can just sort of stick it in a window and not really worry about it too much, maybe once a week, once every two weeks, I've got some plants that would be really great for you. These are different types of succulents. Most of the ones I've showed you so far are echeverias. I'm going to go through a couple of my favorites. These do need direct sunlight at least part of the day. So if you have a south facing window, if you have a sunroom somewhere where they're going to get some direct sunlight for the winter. In the summertime they can go outside, but they need some direct sunlight. None of this indirect light, that's not going to work for these guys. I'm just going to pick out a couple of my favorites and a couple of the more tricky ones. So this one, we call it the Painted Lady. It's the Echeveria nodulosa. It's very beautiful. It's this dark purple. It provides, I like putting these in a contrasting planter with some green leaf plants. Always put it with something that does not need much water and needs sandy soil. But this one will grow taller and it will branch out, and it's just really beautiful, and it's pretty easy just as long as you don't overwater it. This one does not rot nearly as quickly as some of the ones that have more of the rosette shaped heads, but it's very easy. Here is another of my favorites right here. Well, that's not it. Where's it at? Here, Eric's got one in his hand somewhere. Here it is, right here. Okay, so this is the Blue Atoll. Okay, and this little lady is so pretty, light green, easy to take care of. She does not like to be overwatered, but if you put her in sandy soil and sunlight and pretty much forget about her, she will double and triple and quadruple in size, put on tons of babies, and just make the most beautiful pot you've ever seen. My son planted a fairy garden. We stuck it in our greenhouse, and I did almost nothing to it for the whole winter, and it quadrupled in size and put on the most beautiful babies you've ever seen. This one here, this is the Agavoides. This one is very pretty little red tips. She's pretty easy to take care of. Just don't overwater and you're good to go. Now, one of the more difficult echeverias that we grow, very beautiful but very difficult. This one right here. Anytime you have a thin-leafed echeveria, they're going to be a little finicky. They're going to rot easily, but they're also going to dry up easily. So this one you have to be a lot more attentive to than some of the others. And this one is the Echeveria subbrigata. All right. Now we do have some jade plants. Jades are a classic succulent. Right here is one of my flapjacks, a big old flapjack leaf jade plant that are super easy. They don't rot unless you really overwater them, but you can ignore them for weeks and they still just keep right on going. I do have a few trailers. I've got some little strings of bananas here. Super easy as long as they get sun and not too much water. I have some string of pearls. I have not brought them up yet. This is a Haworthia. Haworthias are nice and easy. This is the fairy washboard. Again, this one does not need full all-day sunlight. So in the summertime, you can't put this one out in the open, but they do need a few hours a day of sunlight. They will put on babies. You cannot propagate them from leaves, but you can take the babies off of them and plant them separately. So these are just a few of the plants that we offer. I've got many more, and I'll do more videos in the future to show you some of the others that we have. But if you have any questions or would like to take any of these babies home, just come see us here at the Mulch Yard Garden and Gift.